What's up guys, this video is going to be a little different compared to what I usually do. I'm going to be showing you how to make your own custom sprites without using Photoshop for your Infinite Mining game. I'll post a link to Brez's kit in the description. So without further ado, let's go jump in. Alright, so go ahead and go to photopea.com. This is a free alternative to Photoshop in a web browser. There's no sign-in required or anything like that. No gimmicks, it's just a very nice and very easy to use, user-friendly. So let's go start our project. Today I'm going to be respriting the copper ore. I'll put a graphic on that on the side. So the width and height, well, first off, create a new project. Your width and height, the higher the width and height is, the better level of detail, but the harder it gets for actually spriting ore. So for these ores over here, I did 60 by 60, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can press or hold down Control, then plus or minus to zoom in and out. Go ahead and zoom all the way in, create a new layer, and then delete your background. Now find a good color and use the pencil tool, and I would suggest putting the size to either 1 or 2. And I'm going to actually time-lapse this part, but this is where you actually shape out your ore. So I'm going to head in and do that. So I'll see you after this little montage. Okay, so now that I've basically made my simple shape, I'm gonna start adding some tiny little details. So the method I used for my ore was I chose a darker shade. So you can go over here and choose a darker, and go ahead and outline the. You don't have to do this. This is what I do, but I like to outline the border. You can also do this with a stroke if you want, but I just like this. I don't know why. So see you when I finish that as well. Alright, so I've created a little border. Now the second step, what I usually do is I add a hint, a color between the border and the actual mass, and I start shading it a little bit. You can also do this with a gradient, but you can also do a gradient afterwards and it still adds a little bit more detail. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and you can just watch. It's not much explaining. Now I'm no pixel art expert, so just try to experiment. I'm still new to this, so don't really take my judgment as very good, but yeah, this is what I do. Alright, so we've added a couple of little details. Feel free to do whatever you want, but I think it is time to start actually start adding some little effects. Now this part is very important. You cannot, if you just save this image and then put it into Roblox, the scaling of the pixels will not look good. Everything will be blurry. So this is what I do. This is also helpful for putting on even tiny details. So you can create a new file, and make the width, it's doesn't matter, just a square, some nice numbers. And then you can delete the background again. This time you take the copper, drag it into this project, and it's very small. Now you're going to scale it, but this part is very important. So you have to go to free transform, scale it to your light bulb, hold shift, and drag one of the corners to scale it properly. There we go. Go ahead and center that, and I'm actually going to make it bigger. 250 the entire thing. Okay, that didn't really work. Okay, so change by linear to nearest neighbor, and then click confirm. Now this will ensure that the pixels will scale perfectly, not perfectly, but just correctly, so you maintain the same shape. Now what you can do is, you don't actually need this layer anymore. You can go to double tap, and you have a lot of different things that you can get, little effects that you can add. So what I usually do is an outer glow, and it's white right now, and you can create it, make it dark, and just mess around with this. So I'm going to make the spread a little bit, and actually make it a little lighter, and maybe a tad bit bigger. So I like that. Actually, I'm going to create the like that. Okay. Now you can add a gradient overlay. Actually, this is how I do it. I don't know. This way just seems easier for me. I'm not a Photoshop expert by any means, but whatever. This works. So I can duplicate layer, change the opacity, and get rid of the outer glow, and add a color overlay so it's semi-transparent. Now what we can do is choose our colors, so we can have it go from this color, a little bit at the bottom, to white. And then just change the angle to add a little bit of a lighting effect to your ore. So I make my ore kind of look like this most of the time. So I like that. And boom, we're actually done. This is it. So you can go to File and export as PNG, save it, and now I'm going to go into Roblox Studio and show you the ore. So let's just duplicate this, go to Game Explorer, Images. Okay, I've successfully found my copper. Now there's one more step that I left out, and that is creating the little icon that appears for the player inventory, which is not the same. Now you can just, it's basically just a less detailed version of what you just made, so it shouldn't be that hard to make. So I can go to this, select all the decal. Okay, thank you. Select all the decals and change it to copper, and boom, we have our copper ore. Now I didn't do that good of a job with the spacing, but you can always do better, and it does not look that bad. So hopefully this tutorial helped, and I will see you in the next video if I ever make one. Peace.